Well, on our second lead story today, the conflict in South Sudan has created yet another phenomenon, hate speech, and the United Nations is warning that it is dangerous to the efforts of restoring some peace and sanity to the country. Letters with graphic warnings of violence against people from the Equatoria region were left outside the gates of humanitarian organizations in Aweil West, northwest of the country. The letters are said to have been written by the Dinka community, warning Equatorians to leave or be eliminated with threats of violence, mutilation, and murder.
Following the aggression of a member from the Equatoria community and the multiplication of threatening letters to this community in the northeast of the country, about 100 aid workers have been evacuated from the region. This is what the spokesperson of the UN Commission on Human Rights said.
Letters with graphic warnings of violence against Equatorians have been left outside the offices of several humanitarian organizations in Aweil West, in northern Bahr el Ghazal, in the northwestern part of the country. Ethnic Dinka youth groups have issued warnings to Equatorians that they will be eliminated. There is always an undercurrent of ethnic strife in the country, and attacks continue on an almost daily basis. This one represents a rise in the rhetoric, in the very hateful rhetoric, and these are threats, very specific threats that are being made against a specific community. We are raising the alarm because given the volatile situation in the country, these kinds of threats, these are not mere words that are spoken. These kinds of threats can have an explosive effect.
And to have an in-depth look into what's going on in South Sudan, we're being joined by Deng Mashol. Good morning, Deng. The South Sudan government, we understand right now, has downplayed the threat. What exactly did they tell you concerning the rise in hate speech?
Actually, when I spoke to the government, the press secretary in the office of the president, he said the government was shocked on this matter. And he further described this as rumors, and it was stated by some people. No one is targeting any Equatorial working there, and no one is even chasing them. But because people fear on what their people doing to other tribes, this is the issue. And he further saying that even the president saying there's no revenge. So president make it very clear to the Dinka not to take the law into the hand, saying that everything will be handled well. So such things are denied by the government, and there's no indication coming from the government to condemn it, but there's a playing game on it. And when you go back, you cannot even see, you cannot come across who written the letter, but the letter has been placed in some area like Aweil, which is northern Bahr el Ghazal region.
Now, then we have reports that the Ethiopian Prime Minister is expected in Juba by the end of the week. Do we know what he's necessarily going to involve himself with in the capital?
The government saying that the Prime Minister is coming to evaluate the process and implementation of the peace agreement, which was signed in August 2015, and also to see the move taken by the transition government to appoint Taban Dengai as the new first vice president to replace Young Machar, and also to come and look on the deployment of the Region Protection Force in the country, and also it's expecting to talk about maybe Young Machar will return back into the country or not. So these are the expectations from the Prime Minister, who is also the chair of the IGAD.
Then, just finally, is security getting any better in Juba at the moment?
Actually, the situation in Juba is calm, but our state of Juba is not really good. People stop using roads now because it's hard. You cannot use because there's targeting, killing on the way. Also going on is part of Africanews, which is Malacan, and also in Winti State. So the security situation is not good.
Well, that was Deng Mashol joining us in Juba. He's our correspondent in the country. If there are any developments with regard to that, we'll be